since 2019, we have implemented programs in Fiji that amounts to more than 88 million US dollars. The UN is not a funding agency, as you all probably know. We are not a bank. We don't give loans. So whatever financial resources that come to the country come in the way of grants or technical assistance. But what we do is to help strengthen the systems that you want to have in place. Of course, in order to be able to provide services to the public, as I said, with a special focus on the most vulnerable. And one of the things that we did last year was to work very closely with organizations representing people with disabilities, for instance. So while I've mentioned the $88 million in the last 4 years, that's really not the most important part of our work. Much of the work that we do isn't really seen or known by the public because we do it very closely with other partners. We are inside ministries, working to help, working with Parliament, helping to draft laws, training judges during the time of disasters, working with NDMO to strengthen their systems to collect data. In Fiji alone, we have 26 UN agencies and entities that are implementing projects and programs. And in the new program, we will have even more, potentially. Some of them are physically here, some are working remotely. We are spread across many different locations in Suva at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, we are in 13 different locations in Suva, and that of course results in great inefficiencies as well. You have, because of the nature of our work in the Pacific, this is a hub, as I mentioned before, and the agencies that are here, we have about 1,000 staff spread across the Pacific. More than half of them are in Fiji, and about 3/4 of them are actually Fijian. So it's not that we have just international staff here. Fijians who are employed here and who are serving not only Fiji but across the Pacific. I'm happy to say that we have had an opportunity to look at some potential sites. We have, as a UN family, 19 UN agencies have come together and looked at the way in which we can be more effective when we are working together. We've engaged with the government to develop a design. It's still work in progress. The designs are at a very rudimentary stage. I know in the budget deliberations it was announced that the government hopes to have the project completed within 30 months from the date of signing of the documents. But we're very optimistic that we will be able to progress this as soon as possible. You may or may not be aware that the government has been paying the rent for UN agencies. This was an agreement that was made between the government of Fiji and the UN before my time. So including these premises that you're sitting in and all those premises that I mentioned across Suva. Again, this had been announced, I think, prior to my time, like I said. This is not at all unusual. I know there were some people asking, is this somehow very special to Fiji? Fiji is a member state of the United Nations, as other countries are, and that's a very normal arrangement between member states and the organization, in this case the UN that it belongs to. So like I said, that is also the case in Samoa. In FSM, the government of FSM is actually building, they're working on the designs, etc., a new UN house as well. So those are the three hubs in the Pacific. But in other places where we have smaller offices as well, premises have been provided by the government in Marshall Islands, in Tuvalu, in Vanuatu, in Palau, and so on.